Hi, I'm Cynthia Kahn, founder of Amused Now, and I'm here today with J Alexander Greenwood, award-winning author of the John Pilate Mystery Series. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Cynthia, so good to be back with you.
Yeah, welcome back to Amused Now.
It's great to be back. It's great to be back. Got a lot of nice mentions from my last appearance here a few years ago. It's good to be back.
Well, for those who may have missed that show, and for those who aren't familiar with the John Pilate Mystery Series, why don't you tell us the backstory of John Pilate and maybe start a little bit even from the beginning with Pilate's Cross?
Well, Cynthia, it's kind of an accidental series. I wrote Pilot's Cross, which is based on a true story of a real life, true life murder that happened in the 1950s in Nebraska. I wrote it kind of as a lark. I took that information from the true story of what happened in Peru, Nebraska in the 1950s, and I kind of updated it and added a whole backstory and thought, well, this will be kind of a one and done deal. And I won't say that there were thousands of people with pitchforks and torches at my door saying, you must write another one, but I had some nice response, and I decided, well, what would happen if we continue with these characters? What would happen next beyond the creation of the story based on Pilate's Cross on the true life story? What if we took it to the next level? And that's where Pilate's Key came along. And that's where I took John Pilate, the hero of the story, to the beach. He went to Key West to write a book about what happened during Pilate's Cross. So a little bit of meta stuff going on there as well. Well, I don't believe in just doing two things. You know, I'm a Gemini and I'm the second son and all these things, but I like three. So then shortly thereafter, I came up with Pilate's Ghost, which was kind of what I thought would be the end of the series. It was a trilogy, and Pilate's Ghost wrapped up everything that happened in the first and second book. I thought pretty nicely. And just I want to add that you could read just one or two or three or any of the books out of order, and they're still an enjoyable read. A lot of people, when they see series, they kind of freak out and say, oh, I don't want to start a whole series, but these are designed so you can read them individually. But anyway, excuse me for drifting off for a second, but Pilate's Blood came along. I waited about 2 years and came back earlier or late last year with Pilate's Blood, a four-story. And that leads me here, where we are today, where on July 31st, the release of something a little different with the John Pilate universe. It's called Pilate 7, and it's not really a novel.
It is a little different. It's not even about John Pilate, and it's a collection of short stories. So please give us the inside scoop and what characters will be featured.
Well, what happened was that after Pilate's Blood, I'll admit that it was getting a little tougher. I have a day job just like most writers, and I have a lot of things going on in my life, but those characters kind of help keep me sane. And after Pilate's Blood, which did pretty well and was received well and received some nice reviews, I thought I kind of want to write a little love letter, if you will, to the fans, the people who keep me going. I mean, I don't have millions of readers, but I have a very dedicated cadre of folks who really care about these characters and what's going to happen next. And I mean, I do literally get emails, Cynthia. I literally get phone calls at home saying from people locally saying, "Okay, what's next? Come on, it's been 2 years. What's going on?" And I thought, well, let's do something different. Let's do a book of short stories, and John Pilate will be peripherally in these stories, but they're really going to be based on characters in the universe, his friends, his 7 people. They maybe not even friends. They could be his enemies as well. And there came Pilate 7, and really once I started with that conceit, the idea of let's create a book of short stories with 7 people around John Pilate, and it doesn't have to be happening at the same time. Some of the stories take place 40 years ago, some take place now, some take place 5 minutes before the next book comes out. It was a lot of fun to write, and I think anybody who's a fan of the series will enjoy it because you'll get to see, I'm not going to say them all, but you'll get to see a little backstory with Kate and with the Sheriff Scoville and with Buster, and of course the fan favorite, which would be the boat captain in Key West, Taters Malley, who will return in this collection of short stories. So I'm really hoping that people will get to it, and not to ramble again, but I just want to add that I hope people, if you've never read a John Pilate mystery, that you won't be scared off from this. This might also be a really nice entree for you into the series might whet your appetite a little bit when you read a little bit of these stories, these backstories of the characters who surround the main character.
Very smart idea, because then people can get more into the story because they'll understand more about the characters. However, this is only going to be an ebook,
Right.
so why only ebook?
Well, Caroline Street Press is our small imprint, has produced the first 4 books, and producing paperbacks is a costly proposition. We sell a fair amount of paperbacks. I just fulfilled an order 2 days ago for them, but by and large, they're not cheap. And the other idea was that though Pilot 7 is a full-fledged John Pilate book, I just thought let's make something affordable and quick and easy to get, and just as an experiment and see how we do. Cynthia, I guess I probably wouldn't be telling tales out of school to tell you that probably 70% of our sales for the series are ebook generated anyway. And then about another 28% are for the paperbacks, and then about 2% for the audiobook versions for the first book.
You mentioned your publishing company, Caroline Street Press.
Right.
So tell us a little bit more about it, and can you help indie authors if they're interested?
That's what we're all about, Cynthia. Not only does it produce my series of books, but we have just signed a deal with Ken Wayand, who's a Missouri author. He's a nonfiction author. He does history, and then he also does books on kayaking. Those are two of his loves of his life. And he does several memoirs about growing up in the Great Depression and about his mother, who was a Chautauqua performer and trooper. And he's done several books. So we're doing 6 books with him. We've released the first one, which is Fiddling with Friends. It's available Amazon, everywhere else, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords. And we'll be going towards the end of the year with his kayaking book. We've also co-produced a Oklahoma bestseller called Enchanted Circles by Paul Medina. It's a young adult book. We help indie authors get through either the ebook process or the print-on-demand process, or both. You may well know, and a lot of your viewers out there may know, that if you've tried to produce an ebook or a print-on-demand book through Lulu or CreateSpace, it's got a lot of twists and turns. We like to help people get through that. If folks need anything from creating, hiring a good editor, all the way up to a good cover designer, to creating a marketing plan for the book, or just maybe you've got all that covered and you just need a good, good strong right arm to get you through the process. That's what we do at Caroline Street.
So if indie authors are interested, what can they learn more about Caroline Street Press and get in touch with you maybe?
Go to pilatescross.com, which is Pilates cross.com, or we just started a Facebook page recently, and we've got dozens of followers there already, and we're really excited about that. Just go to facebook.com and look for Caroline Street Press, and it's just Caroline, like you'd think, Caroline Kennedy or something like that, Caroline Street Press, and you can find more information. We're really excited. I got to be honest, when I first started it, I thought, well, this would be kind of a nice imprint just to help me with my own work, but the weeks go by, I just get more and more people, more indie authors who want to do that. And the thing that we do, we don't pay advances. We're not like a traditional publisher. We're more of a production services unit. But the thing is, too, is we will not put our name, we will not put our ISBN, we will not put our name towards anything that isn't quality. We work with our authors to make sure that everything's professionally edited, everything's professionally produced, and it's something that not only can we be proud of, but something that they'll be proud of when they're all done.
Terrific. Alex, when I was researching you, I didn't realize that you co-authored a book called Kickstarter Success Secrets. So I just have to know more about that. With the success of Kickstarter and crowdfunding, I'm sure everyone wants to know, where did you figure out your secrets, and where can we get a copy of the book?
Cynthia, again, it's learning by doing with me. I make mistakes so you don't have to. That's what I tell people all the time. Kickstarter Success Secrets, this is kind of funny to me. It's kind of a jab to me sometimes too, personally, because Kickstarter, what it was my third book. Remember I mentioned earlier that paperbacks are a little expensive to produce. Well, I decided, why don't I kickstart this next paperback for Caroline Street Press? Why don't I see if I have enough fans and friends out there willing to help foot the bill to produce the ebook and the paperback, and maybe put a little money in the kitty for an audiobook of our first book, Pilot's Cross. Well, so long story short, 3 weeks later, A very short Kickstarter campaign. We had 106% of the money to produce Pilot's Ghost and a little money to put in the kitty to start doing the audiobook version of Pilot's Cross. And what I did, I just wrote on my blog a series of blog posts about every step I took. Well, one day, as a lark, I thought, I wonder how quickly I can put together an ebook about this experience and get it to get it up on Kindle. And I did it in about 3 hours one Saturday afternoon, and did the cover myself, did all this stuff myself. And the thing that's ironic about it is it's been my runaway top seller. It continues to sell. I hardly ever market the thing. It just keeps going because I think it's like you intimated earlier, there is such a hunger for people to figure out, how can I make my dream a reality? How can I raise the money? And with Kickstarter Success Secrets, I tell you the things I did right. I tell you a lot of things I did wrong. And I tell you a lot of things that I will do differently next time I have a Kickstarter campaign or an Indiegogo campaign. You can find the book as an ebook on anywhere ebooks are sold, but it's also an audiobook on audible.com or on amazon.com, because they also do ebooks through ACX. So you can find it there, and it's read by my good friend Rye Taylor, who did a really nice job. So, and I'll add this, very affordably priced book too, because I thought, you know what, these are hard lessons for me to learn, but anybody who's looking at Kickstarter, they need a little help with money, so I'm not going to charge a whole lot. The ebook is only 99 cents, and I believe the audiobook's around $3.99.
Get your copy today, baby.
Please do. What's ironic is it sells more than my mystery novels do, but you know what? Hey, it's better than nothing selling at all, right?
Exactly. Since Amused Now is about artists helping artists, and you have a perspective not only of an author, but as a publisher, what advice do you have for other indie authors who are trying to make it?
Make it easier on yourself and make it easier on the rest of us too. Make sure your books are professionally edited. Make sure your covers are professionally done. If you're not a professional artist, hire somebody. You can get a really good cover for really not a lot of money. If you contact me through Caroline Street Press, even if you don't hire us, I have a list of great graphic artists who can help you with a decent cover. I just implore other indie authors to, help the movement go forward. I think, Cynthia, you'll agree with me that if there's people out there putting out maybe not the best product, it just makes the rest of the indie authors look kind of maybe not so professional, and it makes it so much easier for people to turn their nose up at indie authors. So do yourself a favor and do me a favor and get professionals to work with you on your ebook, and you'll thank me later, I promise.
Invest in yourself. That's the truth.
Absolutely, Cynthia, absolutely.
Please tell us again when Pilot 7 will be available, and also give us a little hint about what's up next for J Alexander Greenwood.
Pilot 7 is on pre-order everywhere, Amazon's, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, everywhere. If you're listening to this sometime in the future, hello to the future, first of all. I like to say that. The future is very important, as they say, because we're all going to have to live there. I stole that. I stole that from Plan 9 from Outer Space, I believe. But anyway, it's on pre-order until July 31st of 2015. Then after that, it'll be on sale as an ebook only, everywhere, all the usual suspects. What's next? I'm already started to work on the next full-fledged pilot novel. That'll be the 6th book in the series, title to be announced. Stay tuned on John Pilate Mysteries on Facebook or pilotscross.com, and you can be in the loop and you can know when our next book will be. I am seriously considering, Cynthia, doing another Kickstarter. I'm thinking about doing one more Kickstarter to produce the next paperback. Then I'm also thinking, when I get all the series done, I want to do a really nice slipcase version, a box set. Yeah, that's going to be a tougher sell, but I'm thinking about doing that down the road. But the good news is I plan to do about a dozen pilot novels, so I've got about 6 more to go, and that's, I don't know, that could be a dozen years from now, so I'm not worried.
Well, we'll wait with bated breath for that.
Well, thank you so much.
Alex, it has been so much fun talking with you again.
You too, Cynthia. Thank you so much for having me. I love what you're doing with Amused Now, and I really am encouraging all the people who read me to check out all the artists that you feature. It's really fantastic.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to read Pilot 7, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Cynthia. Take care.
Good night. Hi, I'm Cynthia Kahn, founder of Amused Now. This featured artist presentation has been brought to you by Amused Now Entertainment, a website that enables artists to profit from their creativity. To learn more about Amused Now, visit us at www.amusednow.com or email me at ccon@amusednow.com.